miss my friends, yeah. I miss my friends. Now I miss my friends. Now I miss my friends. Now I miss my friends. And I ain't got no life. This is quarantine. And I ain't got no life. Can someone please help me? This is quarantine. We can't do a thing. Man, I need my life back. Can you please help me? And man, I need my life back. We're just supposed to drink. This is quarantine.
Welcome everybody to the first episode of Kelvin's Headspace. I spent the last 30 minutes trying to get the settings right because I got this thing about mouth noises and I'm trying to avoid them, and it's kind of putting me off at the same time, but I think it's just part of the game. So sorry if there's mouth noises, but it's just something I'm like self-conscious about. But I'm just going to do my best. And if I'm going to emphasize words and there's mouth noises, then that's what needs to be done. So first things first, we'll talk about the intro song, which is my song, because I have been copyrighted before for using other music, and I thought, considering it's my podcast now, I will choose my own song. So that's Quarantine. And I just pitched it up because what I actually like to do, and I think what my favourite thing to do when recording or working on music is, for all the FL Studio people out there, which is the software I use, there's a plugin called Gross Beat, and basically one of the functions is you can pitch the song or audio up or down a few octaves. So I just like to mess around with that when I'm mixing and listening because I just think it sounds cool, and it actually helps when I'm working on a song and I change the pitch just to hear how it's sounding on a different kind of octave or key. So I just thought I'd do that for the intro because it's something different to hear. But the real heat is at the end of the podcast, where I've pitched it down and it just sounds good. So if you make it to the end of the podcast, you will be rewarded with some really deep vocals of mine from Quarantine. So that's the intro done. We'll talk about the name of the podcast. So Kelvin's Headspace, a couple of threes in there, which is always good. Or always have to add the 3. But I was thinking of like Kelvin's World, but that's pretty common, and I guess Headspace is common. But for me, because I use Headspace for meditating, it kind of fitted. It fit well with what I'm looking to do, which is basically talk about, mental health, what's going on with me, music, whatever's kind of on my mind or I want to talk about. So that's how I landed on that name. A couple of emojis there, which is always the thing to do these days. So I've already got like 6 episodes up already, which is like, it starts at -5 and then ends on 0. And those are just the audiograms that I recorded and put on Instagram to start with. So they're kind of like the pilot episodes, I guess, even though what I'm doing now is the exact same thing, but I've got a website and like a podcast host. So it's on all like the podcast streaming things. So seems more legit, and it feels more legitimate now, I guess, that I've got it on there. And it's more accessible too. So I think it's just a better way of doing it. So enjoy the podcasting. So I was listening to like the first 5 or 6 episodes, and because I needed to write descriptions for each episode, and I found a common theme was like, we've gone into lockdown, then we've come out of lockdown, and then we're back into lockdown. So and this has just been like over the last 2 months or so. So really, it's been a pretty full on time. And my friend Kieran posted, he's like the COVID god. He just posts COVID stuff and like case numbers, and and also good COVID stuff too, like updated news, like when like today where they changed the AZ timeframe from 12 weeks to 6 weeks. I didn't know about that, so I quickly changed my appointment so I can get fully vaccinated sooner. So that was some good gems he's dropping. But there was one post, I think it was linked to a psychologist, and it was saying, talking about lockdown fatigue. And I think it said something like, yeah, it hits me hardest on the Sunday and the Monday. And I was finding this week I've pretty much been fatigued like all week. Just, you know, that lockdown feeling where you just like, it's Groundhog Day and you're just like doing the same thing over and over in your house, and you just don't see the end of it, and it just wears you out. So I just found that it made me feel better reading that, because I'm like, oh, even though I know what I'm feeling is normal during this crazy time, but just to see like and read like, oh yeah, other people are going through it, and remembering that other people are going through it was a good feeling. So keep doing the posts. It's good stuff, Kieran. Shout out to Kieran. All right, now just sipping on green tea once again. I really hope the recording is working well. I'm talking like off the axis of the microphone to avoid the mouth noises. So hopefully it works. Probably won't play it back because I'll get too much anxiety thinking about it. But we'll go into the photo that I've chosen for. It's like across my social media at the moment, but it actually helped me like go ahead with this whole serious, air quotes, podcasting, because I didn't really have any good quality photos, and I'm not really good at designing, or I've just got no idea. I know there's like a Lightroom where you edit, but I don't have any actual like good proper photos. So the photo that I chose is actually from my brother's wedding, which was at the end of last year. So I spoke to my brother's wife, and she kindly sent me those photos, and they're taken by obviously the wedding photographer. So they're really good quality. And now that I've updated the photo, it actually looked like legitimate, and it spurred me on, because last Friday I was like looking into how to get a podcast going, and it was all overwhelming, and I had this really bad picture that I just put up myself, but I don't know how to edit. So it was bad. It was a bad photo, but I was just like, I'm just going to chuck it up there. And it just and I was just like, oh, I can't do it. I'm just going to stick to music strictly. There's not going to be a podcast. But then the next day when I was thinking about it, I'm like, oh yeah, I actually do want to do this. And then getting that photo and having it on there made me feel better and more like professional. So that really helped me out a lot. But I want to talk about more the way that I've kind of cropped the photo, because like it's for my social media and it's me. So you would think that I would maybe choose like crop out my brother who's in the photo on the right hand side, and because you know it's my thing. And normally if you're like, most pictures I see of artists or whoever, they've just got photos of themselves. But when I went to crop him out, I was kind of thinking about our relationship and what my brother means to me. And it actually helped me decide to keep him in, because that's kind of what he is like to me in my life. He's kind of like, he's such a great role model. he's always like challenging himself to be better. I've kind of followed his footsteps in a lot of different things, like, psychology and the way I structure my life with tasks, and he just gives good advice. And sometimes I think he's so like, he thinks about like improving himself so much and helping other people and all this stuff that he can like get burnt out because he's so like selfless in that way. But for me, like, I definitely wouldn't be in the position in my life, which is a good position, without him. So it's kind of like I got to a point in my life where I was kind of, he was inspiring me and being a role model, and I was doing a lot of the things he was doing. But then it kind of got to a stage where I had to like forge my own path. So an example of that was, like, for example, I think at one stage would like call my parents on like a Friday, like every Friday, once a week. So I was like, well, I better do that because he's doing it. So I tried to do it for a little bit, but I just found it like it wasn't working for me. Like, I prefer to see them in person when I can, and I just realized like it's a great example of what he's doing and it's inspiring, but I need to be my own person, and he's guided me all this way and he still is guiding me to this day, but I need to kind of break away and be my own person and do what works for me. And so now, as I sit here, I feel like confident in the person who I've become. He's still there for me and will always still kind of be like the guiding light in my life and always push me to be better and that type of thing. So that photo is just representative of that. It's like, it's my time, but he's still there with me. So it was pretty deep about a photo, but yeah, that's just that's my headspace. That's Calvin's headspace about the photo. So I also wanted to talk about what I learnt from releasing my first two tracks, so Quarantine and the Quarantine remix. So just an update on the streams. So Quarantine's up to about 260 streams, and then the remix is sitting at about like 33 or something. So firstly, thanks to everyone who's listened to it either once or repeatedly. I know there's a few out there who I think they're trying to listen to it daily, a few times a day to get the numbers up. But also some people actually just like it that much that they're banging it. They're banging it hard, and it's really good. And people just sending like videos of them banging the song and just like laughing about the lyrics and all that kind of stuff. It's like the best. It's why I put out the songs in the first place. And it was actually a really good learning curve for me. I think the first lesson I learned was it's really easy to do something like this. It's more the thought of like, I'm going to put my music out there. But once I did it, I was like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's out there. It's, even though I can imagine people and my friends and stuff listening to it, it actually, it's like, it's different to playing it in front of people, where you can kind of see their reaction. Where here it's like, it's out there, and I don't know when you listen to it, or if you listen to it, or if you like it, or if you hate it. It's out there. So it's kind of, it's just relieving in a way, and it's a good feeling when you like accomplish something like this. The other thing I learned was you really have to market or like work on marketing a lot just to get the streams and to get the awareness, and you really have to have like all your social media and all that stuff in order and organized, and have a plan. So I think for like my next song, I'll have the release date like a bit further ahead, and like I'll try to market it better and like have everything ready, like things like the lyrics on Instagram. Because I dropped the songs so fast, Instagram was still catching up with the lyrics, and people were like, I tried to find the song on Instagram so I can like do a story and and post it, but it's not there, and now I'm annoyed. Not actually annoyed, but like, so that type of thing, just those things to be aware of. So yeah, just not rushing it, taking your time. Again, I explained why I did what I did, and I'm glad I did it, because now it's kind of like it was a good test run, and I got to test out the streaming service and all that kind of thing. So it's been a good lesson. I'm really running out of breath here. The other thing is, like, how can I measure my success with what I'm doing? Because like streams and likes and comments and engagement and stuff, I don't think it's a good way for me to measure success, because I think a lot of that can be achieved through, like, firstly, money. Like I think I dropped like $20 just on like a random like Instagram ad to promote it, just to see what would happen. And it definitely works. Like, it gets it out there. But it's, it's not something I really want to be dropping money on and being like, oh, if I get X amount of streams, it means it was a good song or what have you. So I think for me to measure this success is just, I think if I'm learning, if I'm making mistakes, learning from the mistakes, and I just keep pushing forward and getting better. And at the same time, the most important thing for me is to enjoy it. Because when I used to play guitar, I burnt myself out and I don't play anymore because I was too focused on trying to learn like scales and technique and stuff that is actually very useful, but I forgot to just take a moment to, learn some songs and just have fun. So as long as I keep that at the back of my mind, have fun, keep making music, enjoy myself, then the rest of the things like marketing and streams and stuff, I think they'll just kind of fall into place as I learn about it more and get better and, apply all those kind of things. Because at the end of the day, it's just a big project for me on the side, and it's kind of like a never ending thing, which I think is going to help carry into my like work life, for example. Because for me, like, I'm not doing my dream job, and I'm not like, this is the greatest job ever type of situation. So it has its positives, but it doesn't give me that like satisfaction that I guess people that are doing stuff they truly love or they truly enjoy get. So I guess I'm trying to find, things outside of work which will give me that satisfaction, which I'm hoping this type of stuff, which I am obviously doing it because I like it. Otherwise, why would I be sitting here doing this? I think that's what it'll be able to give me. So I guess my last point about that is ultimately I think good work gets recognized, which I've found. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm jumping over the place. My point was, if I get good habits in terms of like, making good quality music and working on podcasting and getting better at marketing and taking photos and all that type of stuff and being consistent and building that habit, then that will ultimately benefit my work life, because it's like developing a reflex where you're working hard outside of work on like a passion. So you develop all these good habits just kind of naturally through that. And then that, I think, momentum and habit feeds into your work life. And it kind of, that's how I see it helping me with a job that's not my dream job, if that makes sense. So before I went back on the tangent, I think with anything, what I've learned through work and in my life to date is that good quality, whether it's work or music, whatever, if you put your best effort in with anything, and you deliver good quality, even if you're not, marketing yourself or trying to put yourself out there, people will recognize you. And that's what I think I'm hoping will happen for me. That I just put out some good stuff, make it high quality, and then the rest will fall into place, and I'll gather momentum through, followers, and hopefully, as I improve my skills, it'll just continue to grow and build. And I think that takes a lot of the pressure off trying to build a following or be successful in what I'm doing. I kind of feel like I'm talking in circles here in a way, or like contradicting my last point, but whatever. We're doing it off the cuff. We're doing it live, so it doesn't matter. So to wrap it up, the way I'm going to be doing content, which is going to be interesting, I think, is I've got about three podcasts that I could do of content remaining. Now I'm sure over the next few weeks I'll think of more content for podcasts, but say if I run out of podcast material, then I've also got things where I'll be putting that on my, I'll be creating a TikTok and doing short videos about, certain songs that have way back in the day that have inspired one section of my new song, or a song that I've made, and just different ideas, showing my workflow and showing my equipment and just doing little short videos. So there's that side of the content that I want to do as well. And then, if I'm finished with that, I've got a million different music, as in tracks to work on. So I think the good thing is if I ran out of podcast or this other content, I'll still be chipping away at the music in the background. So I think the good thing is I've got all this stuff that I can do, and it's just continually building skills and enjoying what I'm doing. And lost my train of thought again. So I might, so I'll be maybe I'll drop a few podcast episodes and there'll be a break for a while, and then I'll come back and I might drop a song and that type of thing. So there's no kind of time frame for the content that's coming out. So just prepare for the unexpected, really. And that's it for today. I feel like I was going off. I was going all over the place. I got the red lights going on in the room. Maybe I need to change the color from red because it's just, I'm losing my mind. It's locked down, but we got the outro song that's about to hit. So just get ready. And if you don't have it plugged into some headphones or some sound bar or anything, just plug it in, because you just want to hear that deep voice on the outro. And I'll catch you on the next one. Bow.
I miss my friends, yeah. I miss my friends. Now I miss my friends. Now I miss my friends. Now I miss my friends. And I ain't got no life. This is quarantine.